ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। ॐ 67 श्लोका। सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तं ब्रह्म विशुद्धं परं स्वतः सिद्धं नित्यानन्दैकरसं प्रत्यग अभिन्नं निरन्तरं जयति सद्ब्रह्मकार्यं सकलं सदैव सन्मात्रमेतन्न ततोऽन्यदस्ति अस्तीति यो वक्ति न तस्य मोहः विनिर्गतो निद्रवत् प्रजल्पः ब्रह्मैवेदं विश्वमित्येव वाणी श्रौति ब्रूते यथर्वनिष्ठा वरिष्ठा तस्मादेतद् ब्रह्ममात्रं हि विश्वं नाधिष्ठानाद्भिन्नतरो भिन्नतारोपितस्य सत्यं यदि स्यात् जगदात्मनः सत्यं यदि स्यात् जगदेतदात्मनः अनन्तत्वहानिर्निगमा असत्यवादित्वमपीशितु स्याद् नैतत्त्रयं साधु हितं महात्मानम् ईश्वरो वस्तुतत्त्वज्ञः न चाहन्तेष्वस्थितः न च मत्स्थानि भूतानि इत्येवमेव व्यचीक्लपत् यदि सत्यं भवेद् विश्वं सुषुप्तौ उपलभ्यताम् यन्नोपलभ्यते किंचित् अतो स्वप्नवत् मृषा अतो असत्य स्वप्नवत् मृषा. Okay. So we saw in the last class Brahma Swarupam. Okay. So Brahma Bhinnatva Vijnanam Bhavamoksha Karanam, Mokshasya Karanam, Abhinnatva Vijnanam. So knowing that Brahman is not different from the world will give moksha. Okay, and if you see Brahman different from the world, then it is samsara. And that was logically taken ahead, that what is Brahman's Swarupa Lakshanam, Satyam Jnanam Anantam, Swatas Siddham, Nitya Anandaikarasam Pratyak Abhinnam Nirantaram Jayati. But then Satkarya Sakalam Sadaiva, this Brahman is as though doing Kriya at all time, manifested through this world. Okay. So instead of, see, that is how our language is. The noun becomes the adjective and the adjective becomes the noun. When we say golden bangle, bangle is the noun, gold becomes the adjective. Right or not? Bangle is the noun, vastu is bangle, and gold is become the adjective. But in reality, what is there? Gold is the reality, bangle is the nama rupa. So in our vyavahara, we should be actually telling goldy bangle or bangly gold. Sorry, bangly gold, not golden bangle. Bangly gold. The gold which has got a form of a bangle is what we should be telling. But we say this bangle which is made up of gold. Are you able to get that? So, ulta ho jata hai. The adjective becomes a noun and the noun becomes the adjective. Same way, the whole Vishwam is Sadbrahma Karyam Sakalam Sadaiva. When you say, it is seen as though Brahman's Karyam is Vishwam. It should, in reality, what does it be? That on the Adhisthana Brahman, this Vishwam is continuously manifesting and unmanifesting. It is as though Brahman is creating Vishwam. No, Vishwam is actually getting into manifestation and unmanifestation by itself. Brahman is only the Adhisthata for it, the base for it. Okay, so Brahman is not doing any Karyam. The Vishwam's Karyam is superimposed on Brahman. As the gold gets superimposed on the bangle, which is not the Satta, Brahman becomes a Karta here. That is the way it is shown. Because we see it that way. And that is the Mithya. Okay. The world is ever changing. Brahman is never changing. But here the way it is shown is Brahman is ever modifying everything. He is doing a karma where he is an akarta. Okay, so that is how we convert absolute into a empirical language of communication. Because the language of communication is ulta pulta hai. Okay, so Sadbrahma Karyam, when you say Brahman is doing Sad Karyam which is Vishwam, Sakalam Sadaiva at all times. Okay, Sanmatram etat tan na tato tataha anyat asti. It is Sat Matra etad. It is always Sat and it is nothing different. That means the Vishwam is not at all different at any point other than the Brahman. Okay. Astiti yo vakti na tasya mohaha vinirgato nidravat prajalpaha. In case someone says that Brahman is different from the complete universe, then if someone says Brahman is different from the universe, then it is purely out of delusion. Vinirgato nidravat prajalpaha, as a person in sleep blabbers, like that it has to be considered. That means it's pure ignorance coming out. You have no control of what is being told. You have no idea of what is being told. If you are in the right, if you are sensible, you will not be talking like this. Which means anyone who says Brahman is different and Jagat is different is actually now blabbering out of delusion. Okay. Now, Brahmai Vedam Vishwam iti eva vani. So now he is giving pramanas. What? Brahman alone is the Vishwam. There is nothing called Vishwam. Brahman alone is, another name for Brahman is Vishwam. Please understand it that way. Iti eva vani. Of from where? Shrauti. Brute Atharva Nishtha Varishta. So in Atharva Veda, which is one of the foremost, Vani is Brahmai Vedam Brahma eva idam vishwam iti. Okay. Tasmat etad Brahma matram hi vishwam. Hence, the whole vishwam is only Brahman and nothing else. Okay. Na adhishtana abhinnatara na adhishtana abhinnata aropitasya. So, do not superimpose on the adhishtana and make it different. Do not superimpose a form onto the gold and call it a bangle. Don't give bangle an astitva. Do not superimpose the universe on Brahman and then call that this is a separate entity than Brahman. Brahman is separate, universe is separate. No. It is aropitasya. It is only one Brahman, but that modification which you are seeing and perceiving at all times is what you are feeling as reality, and that base, which is the in true sense the reality, because it is not being experienced, seen or known, we superimpose. Superimposition means what? Snake superimposed on a real rope. Imaginary snake superimposed on a real rope. See, aropita, for that conditions have to be very clear. The rope and the snake have to be of the same dimension. You cannot have a long rope and a short snake. Only half part of the rope is like the snake, the other part is like a rope. Why? It can never happen. Why? Because you are imagining an imaginary snake on a real rope. So why will you imagine only half of the rope? You will imagine the full rope. So aropitasya will always be to the same size, to the same dimension. Correct? Only when there is a nitya vastu and a mithya vastu, that mithuni karanam will only bring aropita. Only if these two come together, then aropita will come. If these two don't come together, aropa will not come. For example, if it is complete darkness, one of the vastu is not there. Which is that? The satya vastu, rope, is not visible to you. So there is nothing on which you will do the mithya aropa. Are you able to get that? Or if there is a very bright light, because the satya vastu is visible very clearly in front of you, there is no need for doing any aropita of a snake on it. Okay, so a necessary condition is both should not be very clearly visible. Then only you do the aropita. When I see a bangle, the gold is not clearly and completely visible to me in my mind, although it is visible to the eyes. I am more focusing on the nama rupa, so I do the aropita of that nama rupa imaginary form onto the real gold. And then call the gold as though it is that real form. You start calling it bangle, you will stop calling it gold. That is aropita. Are you able to get this? So this aropita condition, for it to come, it is very necessary. And hence, because Brahman is not clear, because Vishwam is not clear, and both have got some connection and similarity, I can very easily superimpose one on the other. Normally, whatever is visible and perceptible will be considered Satyam. Brahman is not perceptible and visible, but Vishwam is. So that becomes a Satyam. And then what we say? Brahman bhi hai. So it's like asking a question that whether I have an Atma or this Atma incidentally has this body. Are you able to get these two statements now? If you say I have an Atma, you have given importance to I, the body, and Atma being one portion within this body. But the moment you say that I, the Atma, has incidentally got this body, then you are very clear that I am the Atma at all times. But superficially everyone sees me, and I also see myself as the body when I see on the mirror. What is Adhisthana and what is Aropita? Are you able to get this difference? And this ignorance will do the ulta-pulta job. And the moment it does the ulta-pulta job, it is delusion which is continuously ongoing, which is ignorance. And everything will be ulta. That is why whatever we see, because it is asatya, our verbal communication on the world also becomes asatya. We convert the noun into the verb, and the noun to the adjective, and the adjective to the noun. The real vastu becomes mithya vastu, the mithya vastu becomes the real vastu. Golden bangle. Are you able to get this? So wave becomes important, not the water. The ocean becomes important, not the water. Never when you talk of a wave or an ocean, the water is never spelled out. The form of that water is only spelled out, which comes and goes. This is a mithya vastu. Are you able to get this? Okay. So he clearly mentions that adhisthana abhinnata aropitasya. Then he starts giving logic. Satyam yadi syat jagat atmanaha. In case you want to have a consideration, you consider, let us have a hypothesis, let the jagat become Atma. That means Atma is also true, Jagat, Brahman is also true, Jagat has also got an entity. It's an equal and living entity like Brahman. What happens? Antatva Hani is the first problem. Anantatva Hani, sorry, not Antatva, Anantatva Hani. Anantatva Hani of what? Brahman. Why? Brahman is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. So Ananta is which doesn't have Anta. The moment you get the second one into the picture, Dvaita Bhayam Bhavati, there is a second one. That means the first becomes constrained. If the first becomes constrained, it is limited. Where is Anantatvam of Brahman? That means what you are calling Brahman is in true not Brahman. Then how can you compare with Vishwam? Vishwam anyway is limited. Brahman is unlimited, is infinite. By getting the Vishwam with an equal status, you are getting Brahman into Antatvam. And once you do that, now you have distorted Brahman, which is the Satyam. Are you able to get this? And this is what the other matas are doing. The Dvaita and Vishishta Dvaita are actually doing this. You have to be very, very rational in such thinking. Huh? They are limiting because they say there is an Ishvara which is separate and I am separate. So that Ishvara is not in me. Ishvara is not me. If you say Ishvara is in me, then you have limited Ishvara. You have boxed Ishvara. Okay. And that is why they give equal value for Jagat and Brahman. They keep both of them. One is Nimitta Karanam, one is Parinami Upadana Karanam. Both exist. We go one step ahead and say that, okay, understand it as Nimitta Karanam. Then that same Brahman is looked as Parinami Upadana Karanam. And later on we will go to that final stage to say that Vivarta Karanam. That is what which we are doing now, that the word doesn't exist. But Brahman gets manifested in everything what is there in the world, as the world. Okay. Now, second problem comes Nigama Apramanata. Earlier he said Shrauti Brute Atharvanishta Varishta. That will go for a toss. Where is that Shruti Pramana? Okay, and hence Nigama Apramanata will come. If Nigama Apramanata comes, the biggest problem is what you know. The topic which we are talking, Brahman, see, the world and the cosmos can be understood by the 5 different pramanas. Pratyaksha pramana, Anumana pramana, Upamana pramana, Arthavati pramana, Anupalabdhi pramana. The Vishwam can be understood. Correct? Shastra pramana also. But who will teach you Brahman? Only Shastra pramana can do it. For which the pramana is Shruti. If Shruti becomes apramanata, then how will you understand what is Brahman? That means now you are talking of a Mithya Brahman which you do not know. Please understand. Now your Brahman has become Mithya, no more Satyam, because you don't know what is that Brahman. It's your imaginary Brahman now. So, if Shruti becomes apramana, under whose basis you are now telling that Vishwam is also there and Brahman is also there? समझ में आ रहा है? जो डाल पे खड़े हो उसी को आप काट रहे हो. Then where is your existence going to be there? So Nigama Apramanata is actually going to further you will collapse. Because your Brahman concept is gone, Vishwam concept is also gone now. They both having a separate identity can never exist then. If Shruti is Apramanata. Okay. The third problem comes is Ishitu Asatyavaditva. Asatyavaditvam Ishitu api syad. Bhagavan will get a taint that he is now telling the lie. Why? Shruti is Bhagavan's Vani. If Shruti Apramanata is there, Bhagavan has become a liar. See the levels how it is going. Because from where did the Shruti come? It is Apaurusheya. But if it is there, suppose you say this particular waves are there and I capture it, so from somewhere it has to come. Who created it? Who manifested it? So there is a creator. It's not me and you. So the creator becomes falsified now. So you limit that Bhagavan. Whatever his creation you falsify it, Shruti Apramanata, and then you make him also be a liar. To hold the big lie which we are telling. समझ में आ रहा है? We do this many a times. अपना बात सही बोलने के लिए बाकी सबको गलत साबित करते हैं. यहां it has gone भगवान को भी गलत साबित कर रहे. So he is very clearly giving the pitfalls of if you go that way. What is it's a bigger, very big pitfall. That means आप अपने आप जहां खड़े हो उधर खाई खोद रहे हो, आप गिरने वाले हो. So that is not going to work. Okay. Then he gives another logic. Because a person may not accept it so far-fetched. Let us see very simple ones. He says, Ishwaraha vastu tattvajnaha, okay, na chaham teshu avasthitaha, na cha matsthani bhutani, iti ityevameva vyachiklipat. Okay. What is he saying here? What is vyachiklipat? What is vyachiklipat? Huh? Vyachiklipat means support. Okay. Achiklipat is the support. Vyachiklipat is V plus achi. Visheshena achiklipat. Has been supported by, has been mentioned by, the way it is told by. Okay. Who has told it? Ishvaraha himself. Bhagavan himself, who is Vastu Tattvajnaha. What is Tattvajnaha? Tattvam janati iti Tattvajnaha. Yaha Tattvam paripurnataya janati saha Tattvajnaha. One who knows the absolute incomplete, not in space complete, not incomplete. In completeness, one who knows the Tattva, he is Ishvara. That Ishvara, who is Vastu Tattvajnaha, who knows all the Vastu, has Vyachiklipat, has told it this way. What way? Na chaham teshu avastitaha na cha matsthani bhutani iti evam eva. Okay. What is this? This is coming from the Bhagavad Gita quotation. What is the Bhagavad Gita quotation? What is the Bhagavad Gita quotation? Anyone knows this? 9th chapter, 4th and the 5th shloka. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadavyaktamurtina matsthani sarvabhutani nachahanteshvavasthitaha. 9th chapter, 4th shloka. Bhagavan is saying here, Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyaktamurtina. Okay. Sarvam idam tatam maya. Everything maya, from me, in me, or by me. Okay. Tatam idam sarvam. All this jagat Vyaktamurtina, Jagat Avyaktamurtina. That which is already manifested and unmanifested. Okay, both you have to consider here. Everything which is manifested and unmanifested. All this world. Okay, is pervaded by me. My unmanifested form, Matsthani Sarvabhutani, everything, whatever you are seeing in this manifested universe is pervaded by me. Sarvabhutani Matsthani. Na chahanteshu avasthitaha. But I do not dwell in them. They all dwell in me, but I do not dwell in them. What did he say? Maya tatam idam sarvam jagad avyaktamurtina matsthani sarvabhutani. Everything is dwelling in me, but I don't dwell in them. Is it clear? Is this part clear? Yeah. What is the question?
So when you say I don't, when Ishvara says I don't dwell in them, meaning again because it would be limiting him. That's why he's
that is what he's saying. All are dwelling in me, but I don't dwell in them. Okay. Now you see the next line. Nacha matstani bhutani. This is shloka number 5, Bhagavad Gita chapter 9. Nacha matstani bhutani Pashya me yogamaishwaram. What did he say in the fourth shloka? Matsthani sarva bhutani. Did you understand? Everything dwells in me. And in the fifth shloka, what is he saying? Nacha matsthani bhutani. Actually, nothing dwells in me also. How can you comprehend such a viruddha, exactly opposite statement? If it was told in the second chapter and then you tell the other one in the 9th chapter, I can understand that you have forgotten the second chapter, which is okay. Shamelessly, Bhagavan is contradicting the previous statement, very clearly telling that everything and everyone dwells in me. I don't dwell in everyone. And the next line he says, nothing dwells in me. Nacha matsthani bhutani pashya me yogamaishwaram. Look at this greatness. So now what does he want to say? Whether everyone or everything dwells in Bhagavan or everything does not dwell in Bhagavan. Hopefully you all are also confused. And if you say Bhagavan has told in one sentence the truth, you cannot say in the other sentence he has now given a lie. Ishituhu api asatyavadi. Problem. अरे भैया एक बोलो, I am already confused. Why are you further confusing me by telling two opposites now, which is not practically possible? Correct. Third chapter, as very clearly Arjuna said, ekam vada. You may please decide. Looks to be that you are confused. You first decide what you want to say and now tell me what it is. I agree, I am supremely confused. But it looks like now you are also confused. So you make up your mind and tell me only one thing. Don't confuse me further. And here Bhagavan is telling that Matsthani sarva bhutani nacha matsthani bhutani. Exactly same word, only one na added. Even if you would have given some other words, we could have said that okay, Sanskrit आता नहीं तो हमको मालूम नहीं पड़ा. अभी वो भी chance नहीं दिया.
Sir, here example of moon and water will work that हम पानी का पात्र रखते हैं तो moon multiple patras there तो moon will reflect, but moon reflect हो रहा है सब में, but that's OCRC है, but I mean it's so ईश्वर वो तो करें कि मैं उनमें स्थित नहीं हूँ, so there it will.
Okay, I am the OC, the Jagat is the RC, so I am reflecting in all the Jagat, and all the Jagat is now in me, and which is all multiple RCs which you can see. Okay, done, clear. How do you now justify nacha matsthani bhutani?
Sir, OC is untouched, sir.
Correct. So first is vyavaharika drishtya, vishwarupa drishtya. Second one is paramarthika drishtya, drishti bhedaha. He has changed very clearly. Paramarthika drishtya, there is no second. So if there is no Vishwam at all, where is this Vishwam going to be? Masthani Bhutani, where is it going to be in me also? Because the Vishwam as an entity doesn't exist. It is Mithya Drishti. Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyan Nijantargatam Pashyannatmani Mayaya Bahirivod Bhutam Yatha Nidraya. Dakshinamurti Stotram, First one, Vishwan Darpana Drishyamana Nagari. So the world is a very big mirror. Drishyamana Nagari. It's like that Drishyam picture. Dikhava. Vastutaha kuch nahi hai usme. Vastutaha kya hai? Only I am there, which is not visible in what you are seeing. I am that Sutra Iva Maniganaha, which is the indweller of everything. Only I am there, but the Vishwam is not there. It is Vishwam is Adhyaropita on me. So it looks as though I am in everything and everything is in me, but in reality, nothing is in me because they don't have an independent existence. That Vishwam is Anitya Vastu. I am the only Nitya Vastu. Where are you comparing a Nitya Vastu and Anitya Vastu? Anitya Vastu becomes empirical world. Nitya Vastu becomes Paramarthika. Are you able to get that? This is the only way you can justify it and clarify it. So, in Paramarthika, like Purnamada, Purnamidam, you change the drishti. If you have to see the meaning of Purnamada, Purnamidam, you have to change the drishti Veda. From empirically, you have to go to Paramarthika. Otherwise, the meaning will not fit. If Purnam is subtracted from Purnam, Purnam remains. What is it? Purnam गा के सो जाओ. Purnam eva avashishyate बोलते हैं. What is the meaning then? So, Paramarthika drishtya and Vyavaharika drishtya. So, Matsthani sarvabhutani Vyavaharika drishtya. Nacha Matsthani bhutani Paramarthika drishtya. Both are perfectly right in its place. We have to change our antenna. One is 95.8, other is 100.3. You change, automatically both will fit. But if you keep both together and see, it will be a big confusion. Is it clear? And that's what he now clarifies, that can't you understand that Bhagavan himself, Vyachiklipat, has told this clearly. What? Matsthani sarvabhuta natvaham teshu avastitaha nacha matsthani bhutani. Okay. He says, nachaham teshu avastitaha. I do not dwell on them, I do not depend on them. Nacha matsthani bhutani. He has taken one from one line and the second from the second shloka and joined it. He says, I don't dwell on them, neither they dwell on me. That means what? Only I am available. The world is not there. He has made world the mithya vastu by this. And this is who has told? Bhagavan himself has told. Ishwaraha vastu tatpatya, who knows everything. He is telling nachahante shvavastitaha nachamatstani bhutani iti vyachiklipat. This is the way he has expressed it, with such a lot of very clear supportings. Now can you deny this? So he gave Shruti Apramanata, he gives the pitfall of all that. Then he gives, first he gave Shruti, which is generally without quoting the specific line. Now he says, from the Smriti, Bhagavan himself has given this as a quotation. How can you deny this? Okay, and hence the Jagan Mithyatvam gets established very clearly, Brahma Satyatvam gets established. Are you able to get this? Is it clear? Or is it doubtful now? Mithyajnanam or Satyajnanam now? Or seemingly you have understood this? You all have seemingly understood it or actually understood it? If you have actually understood it, you should be able to explain it to someone. Huh? And if you get stuck, then you have to understand you have seemingly understood it. Because these are all terms. If you are here, clarity comes. Automatically, everywhere the clarity will keep coming. You should know how to that Bhagatyaga. You should know where किधर नित्य वस्तु पे पकड़ा है, किधर अनित्य वस्तु पे पकड़ा है, किधर पारमार्थिका, किधर व्यावहारिका. Okay, right. Then Vyachiklipat. Okay. Okay. Then Yadi Satyam Bhaved Vishwam. Now he is giving the other way around. First he talked about Ishvaraha Vastu Tattvajnaha. So that is a positive connotation which gives pramanata. There is a pramana. Now it is a hypothesis. Yadi. Consider the other way around. There are shlokas in between which Adi Shankara is justifying it to himself in presence of the Shishya, because he has to tell it from all the ways so that there is no confusion should come. So he again goes back, because earlier also he says, in case the world was true, he has already told that once. Are you able to, if you see the shlokas, he has already told that this one, Satyam Yadi, Satyam Yadi Syad Jagat Etat Atmanaha. In case the world is real, consider that. Then what are the pitfalls he has told? Now he is going to justify that this assumption or this inference or this what is that? Hypothesis is wrong. Okay. So he is now going to logically justify. Yadi Satyam Bhaved Vishwam. For a moment you consider Vishwam to be Satyam. What is the definition of Satyam? What is the definition of Satyam?
That which is seen and felt all the time.
Trikale tishtati api sat. Correct? Now see the next statement he makes. Sushuptau upalabhyatam. Even in deep sleep, the Vishwam should be available to you, because Kalatraye api tishtati iti sat. If that is what you are calling Sat, and if Vishwam is Sat, Vishwam should be available to you in the deep sleep. Yat upalabhyate kinchit. Yat na upalabhyate kinchit. Okay. Yannopalabhyate kinchit. Na upalabhyate, not available, not perceivable, kinchit, anything. Yat, because it is not available, even a little, kinchit, even a little is not perceived. Iota is also not perceived in deep sleep. Ataha asat swapnavat mrisha. Ataha, hence, what does Vishwam become? Vishwam will not be Sat, it will be Asat. Okay, so the hypothesis what I make that Vishwam is Sat is removed out, because Sat definition doesn't allow Vishwam to be there, because it is not available in deep sleep, and hence I can never say that I don't have a deep sleep. I will have to say my hypothesis that Vishwam is Satyam is wrong. Then how it is? Swapnavat mrisha. It is like unreal, like a swapna. Are you able to get this? So Vishwam is like a swapna, like a dream. Vishwam darpana drishyamana. Okay. And mrisha. What is mrisha? Mrisha, false, untrue. Okay. And hence Vishwam is untrue, like a mrisha, and it is asat, because it is not available at all the times. Is it clear? Very clear. So now he has used both Brahman Satvastu and manifest through everything in the world, and the world doesn't have any independent existence. Anitya Vastu Vishwam and Brahmaiva Satyam in the previous shloka. In this shloka, he has given a corollary with a hypothesis and again proved the same point ahead. Considering the Vishwam to be Satvastu, Kalatrayepi Tishtati iti Sat is the definition, but in Sushupti, this Satvastu is not available to me, and because it is not available to me, and I know that Sushupti is a reality for me at that state, the only thing is, I considering Vishwam to be Satvastu is wrong. So my hypothesis is wrong, and hence Vishwam becomes Asatvastu, like a dream world Mrisha Iva. Okay, so earlier he talked about the issues if you have a wrong logic. Now he is giving pramana and logically justifying both the ways. Okay, pramanata and apramanata both have to be considered. See, just saying the positive part is not enough. Huh? You have to also say the other side and prove it, and hence the positive is there. That's how it goes. Just talking that this is the only one doesn't make sense. There is no second one like this. If you confirm it, then only this is the only one gets confirmed. So both the sides you will have to go and confirm it, and that is what he has done here. That is why Adi Shankara was expert Nayayika. In Nyaya Shastra he was the expert. No one could debate with him in Nyaya. And he uses Nyaya very, very strongly in all his Vada. Very strong Nyayas. Okay? Right. Then, okay. Swapnavat Mrisha. Ataha पृथंगास्ति जगत परात्मनः पृथक प्रतीति अस्तु प्रतीति तु मृषा गुणाहिवत् करेक्ट ओके आरोपितस्यास्ति किमर्थवत्ता अधिष्ठानम आभाति तथा भ्रमेण. So he comes back to tell where this problem has come now. So yet individually he broke it into Sat and Asat Vastu. What did he do? Brahman Sat Vastu, Vishwam Asat Vastu. Consider Brahman to be Asat, you have a problem. Consider Vishwam to be Sat, you have a problem. Do you have Pramana? Yes, there is Shruti Pramana, Smriti Pramana, everything is there. Okay. And now, just by telling these facts, it is not going to solve the problem. Only when you know that these facts, why it is being perceived the other way to be, if that is logically explained, then only I connect it as a student. If I keep on telling is Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya, Brahma Satyam, why Shruti has told, after some time you will say, you go to hell to you and your Shruti and your Brahman and your Vishwa. Because you are talking something, either palle nahi pad raha, I am not able to connect it. What you are telling is perfectly logic. But मेरा problem जो है उसको ये दिख रहा है मेरे को विश्वम, और तुम उसको भ्रांति बोल रहे हो, मृषा बोल रहे हो. The whole universe is saying this Vishwam is real, And you, one person, great person who is coming and telling that this Vishwam is not there, only Brahman is there. Whatever you are seeing, the Vishwam is Brahman. And you are justifying everything. But I cannot lose that logic which I am seeing, perceiving it. Okay. See, whenever you have to prove something in the court, you have a particular problem which has gone to the court. So there is going to be someone for and someone against. They are going to continue to put their points, why for, why against, and counterpoints to disprove the other person. Right? But there is only one Satyam. That means one is wrong. Unless you go in the other person's way and prove him wrong, you will not be able to establish that what you are saying is right. So I can keep on telling Shruti and everything. At a point of time you will say, what Shruti, what Brahman, who's Vishwam, what I see is Satyam. If the teacher doesn't understand, go and pinch the teacher. Are you feeling the pain? Oh yes, yes. So Brahman has got pain. Are you saying no to it? समझ में आ रहा है? Now, theory is one part, but it is not relating to me. Unless I make that relatable to me, I will not accept it. I accept all your principles, but वो बाहर. Like बोलते हैं ना, dowry taking is very bad, but for the neighbor's house. Principle बहुत अच्छा है. हमारा घर पे है तो ये सब नहीं चलता है. वो ही रहेगा. And because you have got a lot of respect for me or for the teacher, you will never say क्या बोर मार रहा है, वही बोल रहा है, but not able to connect to me. मेरे पल्ले नहीं पड़ रहा है. समझ में आ रहा है? So it becomes the teacher's responsibility to relate to the student, because there is an error which has come out by which this student has misunderstood. Unless you relate to the error, rather than dismissing that it's an error, the student will never, the student has to understand it's an error. If the teacher keeps on saying it's an error, it has no meaning. The job of the teacher is to make the student understand it's an error in the way student will understand it. And that is what he is now going to do. He says, if I have told these two, they have to be connected to you. Like we give the example, bangly gold or golden bangle, then it is relating to you. Otherwise, just give a gold drishti, you will say, but when I see it, the bangle drishti is only there. The gold is already assumed it is there. Why talk about it? वो कुछ करता ही नहीं, वो बैठा है. Only bangle is there, अलग अलग form आता है. That is what makes sense to me. That is the Vishwam. Gold is assumed to be there, ना? तो क्या बात करें उसके बारे में? And here he says, don't assume that gold, because assuming gold is making an ass of you and me. What is actually there is gold. And whatever you are considering truly which is there as bangle and this actually doesn't not there. Abhi ye has to get accepted by the student. Theory hua, but relating it is what he is going to do in the next one. What is he saying? I think this one we will take it in the next class, because we are going to start it. Now we have told why he is going to take it, and it is very essential, because after that there is nothing more to be taken, because he has clarified it now. With 2 shlokas, he will clarify it very clearly and then he will stop it. Or in 1 shloka only, I think, not even in our 108, only 1 shloka is there. In that he will clarify. The 73rd shloka is clarifying, then Aikyam goes. Aikyam can come only when Brahma Satyam is established and Jagan Mithyatvam is established. Huh? So now he is going to justify Jagan Mithyatvam to the student. That it is Adhishtanam Brahmena. So, and what comes very much to our help? For every Advaita student or Acharya, what comes to, who is the savior? When such Brahma is told, Bhranti Darshanam.
Snake rope.
That's all. कितना भी साल आईफोन का बढ़ने दो, स्नेक रोप एग्जाम्पल चेंज नहीं होएगा. शंकराचार्य में भी स्नेक रोप, अभी भी स्नेक रोप ही दे सकते हैं तू. भ्रांति दर्शन, because भ्रांति has not, it has already come in the fullest level. There is no I1, I2, I3, चलो next भ्रांति, no level नहीं है, पूरा आया तो पूरा ही आ गया वो. तो either it is 0 or 1. तो एग्जाम्पल विल बी द सेम, उसमें ग्रेडेशन नहीं है भ्रांति का. ओके, लाइट और डार्कनेस, either it is 0 or 100. There is no partial ignorance. It's like saying, are you sure whether it is 100% no current in this wire? No, 99.5% I'm sure. Means what? I'm not at all sure. There's either 100 or 0 here. So Bhranti or ignorance has no gradation. You have to just break it like a coconut and open it and show bas ye hai. Either you accept it or you don't accept it. If you accept it, then it's very clear to you. Then this Bhranti will not come. If you don't accept it, you continue with Bhranti. You can't say, I got little wiser now. No. No little wisdom also. समझ में आ रहा है? And that is what he is going to use the beautiful example of Adhyaropita, snake rope, to make him understand that what you are seeing is Adhyaropita, nothing else. Which we will see it in the next class. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Namaskar. Dhanyawad.
नमस्कार गुरुजी.
धन्यवाद.
धन्यवाद सर.
Harihi
Harihi
Om.
sir.
Harihi Om.